Do you want to open your own med spa but don't know how much it will actually cost or what you'll need to do to make it happen? For those of you who are new here, I'm Kelly Smith, CEO and founder of Projected Growth Consulting, with over 20 years of experience in the medical aesthetics field and having assisted over 5,000 practices. I'm an industry expert, author, and speaker who has built seven-figure businesses and beyond with my clients. I've owned and operated my own med spa and have worked with med spa owners, plastic surgeons, and dermatologists for years. In this video, I'll be sharing with you how much it really takes to start a med spa, industry benchmarks you need to keep in mind, tips for startups, and more. So stay tuned and don't forget to like and subscribe. Before we get started, it's important to keep in mind that the size of the med spa or elective medical practice you want to open drastically impacts the costs. A small injectable practice is going to be very different from a practice that has over 5,000 square feet and offers a range of services like plastic surgery, minimally invasive, and might have 10 or 20 employees. But there are industry ratios I'll be sharing later in this video that you should use as a guide no matter what practice size is your aim to create. There are 6 key components to consider when thinking about the cost of starting a med spa. This includes the timeline of your opening of your practice, what season, your service mix and the cost of getting your services and equipment, your payroll, the location of your practice and the lease terms, how much marketing money you set aside, and lastly, insurance, CRMs, and overall the cost of goods have a huge impact on your practice. The first factor to consider when you open your practice, here we go. There are a couple of months that I would tell you will be slower and it's harder to get a practice off the ground. Those months would be July, August, even September. It's also great to look at major holidays around a potential opening time. It's difficult to open during Thanksgiving and Christmas. Those are hard times to get up and running because marketing costs a lot more money and people are very busy. My favorite times to open would be March, April, May, and October. Let's look now at what services are going to be the best ones to offer and to create a budget so that your initial products and services will make you profitable as quickly as possible and be the most attractive to your clients, and on top of that, provide combination therapy with wow results. You want to start with popular services that people can get regularly, such as medical grade facials. There's a lot of names for medical grade facials, but HydraFacial is a very common one. They offer visible results and they can be done regularly. These services can be done once a month and can be done year-round no matter whether you've had sun exposure or not. This helps build your client base and can help with client retention so you can upsell and add on other treatments during those months where people can get lasers and things that they can't get in the summer. Services like this also cast a wide net and get more people in the door. And it's safe for all skin tones and types, and it's a good way for a variety of clients to enter and stay in their lifetime patient journey for your practice. Another strong service to start with would be basic injectables, toxins, and fillers. Everyone has heard of Botox. Offering this can build your client list as well. You want to focus on services that are well-known, popular, and widely searched, as it can assist with the success of your marketing. These great examples are Botox, HydraFacial, Morpheus 8. If you're looking for more intensive services, stay tuned for later videos and listen to the end of this one. Keep in mind with any services that you choose, it's so important to consider disposable costs by service and how much your equipment lease will cost or your overall budget to get started to provide the services you want to create for your clients. The next thing you need to consider is payroll and staffing for your med spa. The number of employees you need depends on the size of your practice, so this looks different for everyone. But you need to keep in mind the size of your staff when you think about operation costs for your new med spa. Your payroll typically is going to be 25 to 35% of your income once you're up and running. If it's higher than that, you need to evaluate the efficiency of your staff and the capacity of your practice in comparison to your team size. 25 to 35% is a very standard percentage for the industry once you're up and running. Startups can be higher because the revenue takes a bit to grow along the way. Your marketing costs are also a lot higher in the beginning to get off the ground. If you're looking for tips and tricks on how to hire and train MEDSPA staff, check out some of my videos linked in the description below. Your practice location is another area that you need to keep in mind when starting your MEDSPA. You should budget for the deposit, initial furnishing, and other one-time costs like opening orders, startup orders, build-outs. Make sure your rent is not going to exceed more than 5% of your revenue once you're up and running. So don't overpay for your space and consider how your practice and surroundings are going to affect your business. Now let's get into marketing. Marketing your practice, especially for a new med spa, is critical, and getting leads and building your client list is important. Marketing costs can vary based on your strategy and goals, and it's necessary to get market share. You'll need to save about 5 to 20% of your income towards digital marketing, depending on how things are getting started. That's why I always suggest to have 3 to 6 months of marketing set aside, as well as payroll when you're getting ready to open your new business. As we put together your pro forma, we will want a 6-month pad of marketing, payroll, paying your rent, as well as your equipment leases, to have some operating capital to make sure that you can get off the ground successfully. If you're trying to grow your practice, once you're up and running, that number of marketing will look more like 5 to 10%. I don't want to scare you, but $5,000 to $10,000 a month of marketing to get a new practice off the ground, depending on its size and how many appointments you need, is not unusual. So start with a good foundation and build out a qualified client list early on. That's why such a high percentage of your budget should go towards marketing when you're starting out. This also accounts for a new website and other digital marketing needs for a new business. Lastly, you can't forget about your CRM and any other systems that you need in your practice in order to operate effectively. Having good systems improves not only your staff retention, but more importantly, your efficiency and your client retention as well. The smoother your practice operations are, the better your client's experience will be. So take the time to find the one that really works for you. None of them are perfect, but they all have their strengths and weaknesses. Talk to us and we will give you the inside track on how that works. You also need to factor in the cost of malpractice insurance, which can range up to $1,000 a month. If you're planning to open your med spa, keep in mind these 6 factors of opening costs that you have to consider. One of the biggest areas I see practices make mistakes is when they underestimate their startup costs in terms of operating capital for payroll, marketing, decor, finishing, training, and understanding that cash flow takes a little while to come in after marketing has been spent. And this is very important when you consider how much equipment to buy and how full-time to make your staff. I know opening a med spa is a lot of work, and I barely scratched the surface in today's video, but you don't have to do it alone. I've helped hundreds of startups be successful, and I can help you do that too. I want to invite you to book a free success call with my team to discuss MEDSPA Growth Accelerator program and how we can help you start your own practice. Thank you so much for watching. Don't forget to like and subscribe, and remember, it's all about the implementation.